that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from sundown to sunset. Nah, nah. It's all in the air, you hear it everywhere. No matter what you do, it's gonna grab a hold on you. California.
All right, we are live on the Bent Methods podcast, coming to you from the Possum Hole. Episode, 17 now? Damn, we're racking them up.
Yeah.
Is it?
17? Yeah, we're doing stuff here. We got our first Forgner on this podcast. Never thought I'd have a Forgner on here.
I'm surprised I'm here because in the first episode, Jared said that I might be hard to understand. And
yeah.
he will not take me here, but
No, we said we
something
wanted.
changed.
No, we said we wanted you on.
Jasiek bringing this up early.
Just
Dude,
getting
this
some.
been festering inside you or what?
No, I just remember that from the first
I think I said that
episode.
about Paul Lavoie, not you.
No. Tamala said the same, like, man, every time I see your English just fucking worse and worse. So maybe that's something about that.
No, it's all right. I think it'll be fine.
In the worst case scenario, we'll have lots of editing and cutting, so...
No, it'll be fine. You're fine.
We've kind of steered away from editing.
We haven't
cutting,
edited anything.
Yeah, so don't break the streak for us.
Watch me now.
Anyways, we got Jasiek Folga here, the Polish nightmare they call him. Just before we get going here, I want to put a plug out for our website. Check out our merch we got going there. We got blog posts. Keelan's got a blog post he put up recently. I put a blog post up. Probably more of that coming soon.
Yep.
Check out that merch. We also got we got some merch for Jasiek here to.
That'll be later on.
Oh, we gotta open it up with it because people might not listen all the way through.
Then it means I wasn't worth those money, and you guys were not worth those money. But if you say
Yeah,
so,
we'll plug it like real quick
Okay.
right now. Real quick, just these will be up on our website. Check them out if you buy them. It's the Beautiful Life shirts because Jasiek, that's his slogan. He lives a beautiful life, and yeah, we wanted to make these shirts to raise money. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Jasiek's recovery. We've already done a GoFundMe. Go check that out too. There's a GoFundMe page on. It's a link on our website. So yeah, we've already raised almost $15,000 for him.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, we'll get more into that later. But yeah, go check that out.
Yeah. I like
Check
those
that out.
shirts. I'm gonna be the first one buying one
Yeah,
of
I'll
those.
be buying
I like
one of
that.
those
That's a nice
for
touch.
sure. They're sweet.
yeah, Dominic designed the logo up front.
And then we got the bent logo on the sleeve. It's pretty sick.
I like the gold.
Yeah, those are
touch.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
check
nice.
that out. You will not be disappointed.
What's the price?
TBD. Probably like $35.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Whatever will come up with.
Yeah, whatever, something like that.
Sign me up. Put me
Yeah.
down for one.
Okay.
Only one?
Yeah.
Dominic will
Come on,
do.
Keelan, step it up. How many?
We got one over here. Two.
Trying to auction them off. Yeah, we could auction these bad boys off.
Yeah. So,
Anyways, what's been going on, Jasiek?
well, life is rolling kind of slow now.
Yeah.
After weekend in the best riding spot ever, pretty much the reason that I'm coming to Canada, which is like weekend in Kukanusa.
Okay, wait, hold on. That's a little heavy to dive into right away. Let's get started with some
Yeah,
background.
yeah,
Let's get started with
yeah.
some background on Jasiek.
Let's get an introduction going.
Yeah, let's get so he's you're from Poland over here in Canada. You've been back and forth for the past I think 8 years ago I met you, or 9 years, something like that.
Do you remember how you met me?
I couldn't tell you.
I remember the first race you did. It was at Calgary,
Okay.
and you showed up with a flag, and you were wearing it all day, wrapped around your shoulders. Do you remember that?
No.
I think you're
Sounds like
mistaken.
Yeah.
No. It was Jasiek.
No. I don't
What
think
kind
so.
of flag? What kind of flag?
Exactly.
It was, well, I don't know. I'm assuming a Polish flag.
You don't know? I don't know
No,
what a Polish
I
flag
never-
is.
the Poland flag. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I should know that. I'm like a third Polish, but
Third pull.
A third? That seems
or
high.
a quarter or something. I don't know.
That seems extra high.
Can you even be a third?
Yeah, you could. 33%.
I have no idea. All I know it's in there.
You must be cool then.
You too? I see it.
Yeah, so I met Jared at the Wild Rose track, and there was like huge jump over the bridge It was wall hilly jump, and like that was just huge jump. I had no idea how to hit it, and he was on a Cowie number 60.
68 maybe.
Oh yeah.
I was
What
never
year was that?
2012.
2012. Yeah, I was
Okay.
number 68.
And I asked him like, what gear are you hitting the jump? And he said something like, I didn't understand him. Like, oh, I knew that you have to go third gear fully tapped. And it worked out.
So you hit it that day?
I did, yeah.
I don't remember that.
I hit it and didn't get hurt, so I cleared it up.
So I gave sound advice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. So so you've been back and forth between here in Poland, you've worked at Blackfoot Motorsports. So what I guess just give us some background on that. Like what brought you over here?
So I was racing nationals in classic enduro in Poland, and I did pretty good. You know, as every one of us, I was like working out, doing my best, and to perform the best on a race day. And then first year of racing nationals was pretty good. I was third in junior class, which is like it's not a junior here, but that was like intermediate nationals or whatever. And for the next season I want to go bigger, but I couldn't find sponsors to cover all those expensive, like most of us. And I had a buddy in Canada, so I said, hey, let's give it a try and see what happens in Canada. So I came up with that idea on Monday, called my parents on Tuesday, told them on Wednesday that I need to talk with them, and we sat over the table, and I said, hey guys, like I need to tell you something. And I was on the third year at the university on an engineering course, and I said, like, I want to take a break at university and I want to go to Canada. And then I looked in my mom's face, and there was like that release, because I think she thought that I would tell him that they will be grandparents.
That's almost a good way to do it. Just like
Yeah.
prepare them for like the worst news possible. Like, I really got to talk to you. This is it's really weighing on me. Like make it blow it up, and then just like, yeah, I want to do this. And be like, oh, thank God.
That's not so bad. Go ahead. Go to Canada.
Yeah, and 3 weeks later, honestly, 3 weeks later, after I came up with the idea, I landed in Calgary. It was like May long, or something.
What made you choose Calgary to come to? First?
I had no idea where I'm going to. I just knew that my buddy is in Canada, in Calgary, so let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long had your buddy been here for?
A year.
Okay.
So not that long, but I had a place to stay and, just to see how it's around. So coming to Canada, I printed all the motorcycle stores' addresses, and the very next day I was like, dropping my resumes at the store, and I went to Blackfoot Motorsports. I chat with Pat Chambers, and he says that you can work in a warehouse, and I said, no, I'm not interested. I want to work in the service. But the next day or 2 days later, I came back and said, okay, I'll take it.
I can't find anything else. So what year was that?
That was 2012.
Okay, that was the first year you came here then.
2012, yeah. I had enough money to buy a motorcycle. I bought brand new YZ250F, which blew up 2 times after 100 hours. And to buy a pickup truck. And I was, I started racing motocross pretty much because I had off-road background. I was doing some races here, but the motocross truck is like riding in downtown pretty much. Yeah. So from Blackfoot to the motocross track is like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
well, you're in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the track every day, and this is kind of how I went to motocross.
How does the motocross scene from Calgary or like Canada in general compare to back home?
Oh, I think the Medaglia is like 7 seconds faster. In 2012, he was 8 seconds faster on nationals. On what's that international race? MX of Nations.
Oh
yeah. He was 8 seconds faster.
A lap than your best guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 8 years ago, but the sports progressed so much that right now I think they are in 2 seconds.
But how's like the riding though? Like, is it pretty prominent back home, or is it like not so much? Like, not too many people actually ride dirt bikes.
Here it's more popular because it's more affordable. I think we've got problem with the off-road scene because off-road riding is illegal. So every time you go to the bush, you have to be quick enough that you'll not get busted.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there like local facilities that you can at least go and ride, or
No,
do you
not
have to
for
travel
off-road.
to another country?
No, not for off-road.
Huh.
Not for off-road. There are some motocross trucks, but they are not maintained as the truck here. That there is like full-time staff working 7 days, 6 days a week to prep the truck.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
So like I follow a ton of like MXGP riders on Instagram and stuff, and I notice that they're constantly like, maybe it's because they have the ability to and the finances and the backing or whatever, but they're constantly traveling to other countries to go and ride.
So the Italy, France, this is like the spot, or Spain to go riding in the winter time. I'm talking about the motocross. But all those trucks are beat up. Nobody's training on a groomed prep trucks like here or in California.
Mm-hmm.
And like I see the difference in a racing, because in a GP, those guys are riding on a beat up trucks and they are still pretty quick. Even Herlings came over to do AMA race in States, and he says the truck was smooth and that was like beat up after the race because they practice. I don't know if you follow Carioli. They ride on a hardpack most often, and those are like square edges. If you will hit it with the rear end, you can get a flat. Those are not rolling jumps. Those are square edges on a hardpack. So I think that's maybe the motocross school back in Europe, but that's winter time, and this is in the best countries to ride. We've got Belgium and Netherlands. They are mostly sand.
Mm-hmm.
And Herlings is also training on a beat up truck.
Yeah.
They are not propped and prepared and groomed, and this place that you want to like, whoa, I want to take my bike and making you rut.
Yeah. So you got to be pretty ambitious to ride over in Europe. You got to be okay with riding crappy tracks.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Those trucks are not groomed and prepared every time you go. You
'Cause that's
show
your
up in the
only-
morning.
That's your only option.
And probably it's always been like that. But it works on a MX of Nations. It works out, right?
Yeah, but do you think that maybe that deters some new riders from coming into the sport? Because like it's super easy for someone to go buy a bike and go to Blackfoot because the track's it's all prepped. It's super easy to ride.
But those are different sports, because like mostly people who buy the bikes from Blackfoot, they don't go to the motocross track, because to ride on a motocross track and not to get hurt the first time you show up, you have to be in shape. You have to be really fit and athletic. You have to have got enough strength and endurance to pass all those obstacles. I'm not talking about jumping, just passing those jumps and ruts. But when you go to the Macklin Trig, you hang out with your buddies. Usually they drink beer before or after or during a ride. They've got good times. Nobody looks on a time. There is no pressure about getting the better and faster lap times. And this is like different mindset than you go to the track. Like just imagine that you're first time on a bike, and you've got brand new bike, and you want to like do some laps. Oh, this is main track. Let's hit it and let's see how it is. And then Jared goes like wide open and flies over you like with, fully 90 degrees whip. And how do you feel? Like,
Yeah, that's something Jared would do. No consideration.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
so even to go to the motocross track, you have to have got some skills, because you'll get hurt and you'll hurt somebody else. Like, just imagine that you're going to the corner and somebody hears you from the behind. He doesn't know how to behave, and he's like running away and turning left randomly, and you just run into him. So I think the people who like go into the sport in an older age, not from
A kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
they will go doing off-road.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like in Poland, were you doing lots of traveling to other countries to ride, or are you just mostly sticking?
No,
No.
I mostly stick in.
Yeah. Is it far to go to other countries? Like, what's the closest?
I went to Slovakia a few times to do cross-country series, and those were like awesome races up there. I raced with Stefan Svitko, who is doing Dakar right now.
Oh yeah.
and like the races they had over there, they were awesome. Like you were racing on a hill, up down the hill. There was like 15K loop, and you're pounding that loop for like 2-3 hours.
Ooh.
And that was my favorite style of racing. Yeah. In here, you've got cross country and you've got hair scrambles. So one, you've got like 45 and 35 loop, and you're racing and you don't know what will be next. So you have to be really careful.
Right.
And I didn't know about that kind of racing. The first race I show up was second gear club. There was like riders meeting, and they say, hey, when you get to the top of that hill, there will be like ATV path, and be careful because there is a huge hole and you can get hurt. So I'm getting there. You can go like fourth, fifth gear wide open. So I'm going slowly. Nothing comes up, and fourth gear wide open. And the huge hole shows up. Like this is like hip deep. And like that's too late to touch the brake. You'll like end up there, you're dead. So I was looking for anything to jump off.
Yeah.
Kept it wide open, almost clear up the jump, and when I was landing, I heard like huge clank, like metal clank. I thought that I destroyed the engine, so I pulled over. I look under the engine if the oil is not leaking. It's not leaking, so I kept going. There is first turn, I press the front brake, and the caliper just pops out.
That was your first race?
That was my first off-road race in Canada. Yeah.
That's funny.
Was that on the bike you bought or borrowed?
No, that was on that
Wow.
YZ 150, 250, YZ F2 250.
The Jasiek Tune 250 not holding up very well.
That was 125, man.
Oh, that was your-
Yeah, I bought the 125. J.R. McRae owned that bike, and after his accident, I was riding that bike for like 2-3 months in Cook, and you know that's 125 in a sand, so you feel like a Carmichael.
Oh, yeah.
It's
You're
wide
like
open everywhere.
wide open all day long. And I said, I want to buy that bike. So I went back home, and Doug and Blackfoot, they sold it. I came back and I said, hey, where is that bike? I want to buy it. He said, it's gone. So I tracked the guy, and I convinced him to sell me that
No way.
that 125. And he didn't ride it much, but he dropped it so many times. I put new tires on it, and you know, whenever you're putting the axle, there is some grease coming up. And when I bought that bike 1 year later, the grease was still there. So
Lightly used.
yeah, but he broke the clutch perch, like all the
Yeah.
plastics were mangled.
Yeah.
But I still got it.
You
I
still-
wanted to race GNCC 125 class on that bike. That was the reason to buy it.
Yeah.
And then when I was heading back home 2-3 years ago, I disassembled the engine and I put the engine cases and a cylinder to my carry-on, and I put it on the airplane. But when I was like passing the customs, like, what's that? And said like, that my race engine. And they pull apart my luggage, and then they pull apart my main luggage.
Yeah.
So they were looking for something, but I was good.
How many times have you come back and forth?
Oh, so before my crash, I was counting. I had 7 going away parties.
They're always good parties too, weren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, good times.
Were you planning on staying here for good this time, or were you thinking about?
So basically, I was thinking about that, but I don't know. Like, that country doesn't really want me, and I cannot deal with the immigration process. And right now with COVID and everything, that would be like really hard to deal with. But there is something I like about Canada. Mainly, it was Kukanus and riding over there. I don't know what's about that place, but that's my favorite spot ever.
Yeah.
You know, though there is like 1 hour loop, and after being there a few times, it is like a motocross playground for me. That like coming year later, I know where is the danger spot, where the rats are sticking out, where you have to slow down, and where you can hit it wide open.
Yeah.
Okay, at least I thought I know.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all had some pretty good times out there. It's pretty hard to beat.
Kooks?
Yeah, it's
Probably my
just-
favorite place ever.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
It's one of
Not
those
just for the
special
riding.
places.
Yeah, not even just
Yeah.
for the riding.
I
That
think
was my best weekend with you guys.
Which one? The one where you're jumping up that cliff?
Yeah, when you did the splat up the.
Or which one
No,
are you talking-
I was biking that time, and I've seen you guys, so I came over to hang out.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
That was
I think that was before, wasn't it?
that
that
was
was quite a few
2014.
years ago.
Yeah, that was a long
Yeah.
time ago. And then you're
2000
talking about the time we just went out there to
Without
camp on the
bikes
beach?
and
Camp
just
on the
lots of
beach,
liquor. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good, that was a. There, it's always we haven't been in a couple years.
Yeah.
I guess other than the bachelor party, which wasn't really kook because
I've seen pictures, and I was like so bummed down. Like, fuck, I wanted to be with you guys
Yeah.
there. Like,
well, you
you'd be
came like
so-
a week later too. You came to back to
Yeah, I
Canada.
just missed out on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good time. But yeah, kook's always a good time. I don't know. There's something about that place. Just like no cell service, just
30
hanging out.
days.
Just 30 days in kook.
It's a beautiful life.
Beautiful
Oh.
life out there for sure.
It's probably because there's like we go from jet skiing, riding, whatever you want. Like there's endless possibilities out there. Nobody's gonna tell you
Rules.
can't do it.
It's
Yeah.
just so nice to
Crown
camp,
land.
just camp on the beach and just like wake up.
Yeah.
You just wake up and look out your tent or whatever you're in, and just there's crystal clear water. You're like, oh, I think I'm gonna go for a ski.
Yeah.
I think it's nice too because there's not like a ton of people out there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
So-
isolated.
Yeah, it's not like you're at a campground and there's a bunch of like kids running around in the morning yelling and
Yeah.
screaming and.
No, there are only bikes wide open.
Or quads or it's fun when like the times we've been out there when there's no one out there, but then you get the times where like it's like
Long weekend.
or like July long weekend and
Yeah.
there's just like guys are bombing around in their quads, pissed
Oh.
drunk and
Doing donuts around your campsite, Dustin. Yeah.
just a
Oh,
straight dust pit.
I've never had that out there.
Oh.
I've always.
Maybe you were sleeping at that time.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think you were there. It's only been like the last couple of times we went.
Oh, really? I always found Tata was kind of bad for that.
Yeah.
Like coming up a blind,
Oh, it's
a
sketchy
blind
out there.
hill or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, jumping on somebody.
That
Ooh.
place is pretty similar.
Tata
Yeah.
for riding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the best. But the best time is late fall and early spring.
Yeah, when it's
raining
moisture.
every day
Yeah.
and you're basically riding in the rain. But dirt is just the best.
Yeah. Remember that one time? I think me and Chris were out there and it was just pouring rain, but it was like so good. It was. I think.
At Tata?
Yeah, Tata.
Was it pouring? Was that day? Yeah, we got out there
It
and
was
it
like
started raining.
We rode the day before and it
Yeah.
was dry, and then
Yeah.
it poured overnight. And I'm like, man, the track's gonna be soaked.
Yeah.
You get out there and it's just like still kind of dry, but it's still pouring.
Still kind of dry.
It's still pouring, and it just keeps getting better and better each lap as it keeps pouring. It's like that place can take unbelievable amounts of water. Maybe we
Jesus.
shouldn't be talking about it because people will be heading out
Yeah.
there.
They're pretty hidden spots though. Like you got to know.
You gotta know,
where
yeah.
to
Don't go there.
sometimes.
I don't
It's terrible.
recommend.
It's very scary with the quad gods and the
And
razors
grizzly bears
grizzly
and
bears
stuff.
too. Yeah.
Don't go there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine what it's like in like California with all the quad gods and razors ripping around if you're trying to go off roading.
Well, that's what I heard. Like Glamis is sweet, but it's sketchy because
Yeah.
there's
Too many people.
there's
Yeah,
too
especially
there's like
on a weekend.
dune buggies. Like it's like super dangerous out there, and it's
Yeah.
it's good to go, but it's
You got to go at like an off time.
yeah.
You got to
Or-
go when you know nobody else is going to be out there.
Yeah, I want to hit those. We've always talked about it, but going to those Oregon dunes, or was it
Oh.
not
Yeah.
Oregon? Not Oregon. Is it
Idaho.
Idaho.
But I
Idaho,
think there's
yeah.
Oregon ones.
There's
as
Oregon
well.
ones too. They're like pretty close to the ocean. Apparently, those ones are sick too.
That would be unreal.
We should just do it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
We'll
sweet.
just do a Yashik and decide tomorrow, leave the next day,
Never come back.
never come back.
I always come back. But I don't
Seven
say why.
times.
7 times.
Actually, that's something I've always admired about Yashik is like how free spirited you are. Like it seems like you're just like so just go with the flow. Like it's
Always.
have you always been that way though? Or is-
I'm pretty. I always had my backpack was always packed because if the adventure is coming over, I'm fully in and I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I don't really plan. I've just got some directions, but
Figure it out as you go.
pretty much, yeah. And
were your parents kind of like that, or you just kind of the?
you know,
Were they pretty reserved?
not as much as I am, but they didn't have a plan. Nothing was planned that much, but actually, like when you said the free spirit, like few people told me that I am a free spirit, and looks like I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was
Yeah.
no plan, and you know, I didn't plan coming every time back to Canada, but like one day, hey, let's go and check out what's up there, and pack my luggage, bought a ticket. Probably same week I was on a plane back here.
Yeah. Well, there's I definitely find that pretty admirable. Like, not having too much attachment to things and just being so open to just going wherever the wind blows. Like, there's not really. You don't really see that too often anymore.
Not many people can do that.
I couldn't do. I couldn't imagine like packing up my shit and just going to a country I know one person there.
Yeah.
You know one person. Oh yeah, my buddy's over in Poland. I'm just gonna head over there and see what happens.
Yeah.
I will say though, you kind of did that last year though. You know, in a sense, like, I mean, you have a lot of responsibility here in Calgary, like with your house, and you got a dog, and you got like bills to pay and all that stuff, and you're just like, nah, I'm quit my job and going racing.
Yeah, I guess. But it's all familiar though. It's not like it's not something somewhere I've been.
But there's still worries though, right? It's still
totally.
like, oh man, like could get hurt. You could all these things. Like there's all this risk and whatever, but you still did it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't live too attached to your comfort zone, right?
Yeah, but it's easier said than done.
Oh, totally. It's super easy to say that, and even when I was doing it, I'm like, should I be doing this? It seems like a huge mistake. I don't know, but I just did it, and it was worth it.
When I went back home, you were talking about paying bills. I didn't want to sign a 1-year agreement on the internet because I didn't know what will happen in next 6 months. So I had just a prepaid phone, and those were all my bills and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's a problem. I guess that's a problem when you're trying to like find a place to live, and they want you to sign a 1-year lease, and you're like, I don't know about that, man.
So, is there any time where like you didn't the free spirit was you felt like you were over it and you wanted to settle down, or you've always just wanted to keep going, keep exploring?
Man, I still want to keep going, and I still want to keep exploring.
Yeah.
I think even
there's no part of you that like thinks you've missed out on anything.
Oh no.
You're all just forward.
Oh, for sure, and I think it'll be like that forever.
No.
So my girlfriend even said once, we are going from one city to the other for the weekend, and she says like, every time I'm going anywhere of you, I'm not sure if we'll make it where we plan to.
That's fair enough for her to say.
and your girlfriend, it seems like kind of more of like a she seems still free spirited, but she definitely wants like her. I'm trying to be. It's not like a mean thing to say, but I think she definitely wants like her comfort zone, or her like she wants to be familiar with her surroundings.
She seems more calculated than you.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
She's got kind of a schedule, and where are we going? How long are we going there? When we'll get there? Where we'll come back? Where we'll sleep? And like everything has to be organized. And I said like, I don't know. Like, don't ask me those questions because honestly, I don't know. Oh, in the beginning it was like, oh, you have to know when are you coming back. No, there was one New Year's Eve party that I went, and I got home on 16th of January. But I was prepared. I took the luggage, and I took all my clothes. I took my workout gear, like everything. And my buddies, they have a workshop, Lobomoto, in Warsaw, capital of Poland. And I was going with them everywhere to the service, to the workshop. And you know how it is in a workshop. You can hang out. People are coming over. Usually those are your friends, so you're chatting there. Crack the beer in the middle of the day. They'll have a beer or something, and or you go to the gym after, because it was not just a party. There was lots of parties, but there was like quality time too.
16 days.
16 days of kook.
New Year's Eve party, 16 days later.
16-day bender.
Lots of parties. Oh man, that's funny.
So how is that with so your girlfriend is back home in Poland? How has that been on your relationship? It's probably been pretty tough, eh?
So basically from the day she left, I supposed to hang out here a little bit longer, do some bike riding, go to cook, and go back home like beginning of December. And she left in September. And then from the very first week she left, she was asking, hey, so what's the plan? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? So maybe that'll be end of November. Maybe that'll be middle of December. And when are you coming? Are you sure that you're coming? Are you going to be for Christmas home? I say, yeah, of course, I'll be back for Christmas. And then I got hurt, and we are 3 months later, and I'm still here. So you cannot really plan everything.
No.
You have to just be flexible, and whatever comes, just take it and look for the best possible option. And, you know, don't be stupid and dumb with all those decisions, but you've got some goal that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Among all of those like spontaneous activities, I finished my school, I got the master degree, a post-graduation school, so even I'm free spirit, there is some direction that I'm sticking to. But
So
that's easy living.
You did finish your school eventually?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. When
We-
did you finish? How many years did it take you to go back and finish that?
So 5-year program, I was doing 8 years.
Okay.
But 3 of those years I
You
was
were
here in
here, yeah,
Canada,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Because I knew
not
you were
bad.
trying to go through that for a while there. But-
Yeah, but so I wanted to go in 2013. I wanted to go back home, and like I set up everything after JR's accident. I wanted to go to California, sell the bike, leave the car, and flew back home. But JR crashed, and then I stayed longer here. And then there was like the day that I was waiting for Pat to tell him, "Hey Pat, I'm going home in a month or two, whatever." And then I went to Blackfoot Direct just to hang out, see what's up there. And then Dean asked me, "Hey, do you want to race Husky next year?" And I had to change a plan. I went back home, I went to school, and I said, "Hey guys, like I think I need one more gap year."
That's kind of a good way to live though, because
Oh yeah.
so your surroundings are always changing, so it's good to be able to adapt to that kind of stuff. And so sometimes you have such a set like plan in your head that other opportunities can arise, but you kind of like don't even consider it because you have this plan. So if you have
you get stuck in your rut.
I think
Yeah.
you need to have a goal, and you need to have a goal, but not the way to achieve that goal. And if you've got a goal, and you know the all around everything around changes, then you just change your road, do something different, or go around, but still try to achieve your goals.
Mhm.
I always got goals, whatever I do, and I'm achieving there. I'm not giving up and
Mhm.
still pushing, but you have to be flexible.
yeah, that's a good quality.
So being such a free-spirited guy, do you have long-term goals, short-term goals mostly, or are you thinking 10 years down the line at all, or are you mostly thinking 10 days down the line?
So, you know, like I wanted to move to Canada, so I didn't want to plan anything back home because like I don't want to open something. I've got like tire company on my mind that I was distributing tires back home, and then I spent a year to learn about tires, but I couldn't start it up back home because I knew I will come over to Canada, and I've got like kind of my hands are locked at that time because like you cannot live in two places, and wanted to move to different country and start anything in Poland and vice versa. When I was in Canada, it wasn't sure how long I will be here, so I couldn't start doing anything valid, let's say, or with longer term plan. At that point, I wanted settle, you know, to have got like my house somewhere, not be on the luggages all the time,
Yeah.
but still got my backpack packed.
Yeah. Yeah. Always got the bag packed.
Yeah, so I think that's where I wanna roll. But for now, I've got you know my one concern is get moving my legs and start walking again.
Yeah.
And I know it's possible. Everything is in your head, and it's in your head. You just have to unlock it.
Yeah. The mind is super powerful. Like there's a lot of people that it doesn't matter what they've gone through in their life, their brain can just overpower or rewire, reprogram like so much in their life.
Yeah.
Whether it doesn't even have to be from like a physical injury. I'm just talking wide spectrum. The brain is so powerful.
I think most people are scared these times. They are scared of changes, and they are not confident about themselves. They don't know the value of themselves, the quality of life they can live, and they kind of got stuck and closed in a small box, and they don't want to step outside.
Well, as powerful as the brain can be at all the positive stuff, it's just as powerful in the opposite way, and it can keep people in, like you said, those.
And you're just putting another lid and after
And
another
that's
lid.
super easy to fall into,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I feel like that's most people. Like after seeing kind of your accident and how positive you're being and how much progress you've made with it, I'm like, I think to myself, man, like what are we all leaving on the table just without being with that positive mindset?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty inspiring.
I look for that. This is just a different injury. We all went through like crazy stuff. I broke my legs. I hit my head pretty hard, and those are 2.5 months. And basically, if you've got a good crash, you break a leg. You've got pretty badly or really good broken leg. It'll take you 2-3 months to heal up. So that's nothing. You just have to adjust your body and adjust your mindset to the conditions that you are in, and still like look ahead for the best possible way and just enjoy it, right?
Yeah. But most people can't do what you said there. Do that, adjust their mindset, adjust their perspective. Like, it's so hard to just adjust yourself when something rapidly changes in your life like that. But so to do that, that's what I think Jared's getting at, is like super inspirational, is how like you can just adjust. And maybe that's that free-spirited party that allows your brain just more adaptable already.
So to be honest with you, like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Perfect.
Because I never had anything like that I'm kind of locked and I'm depressed and something is like closing me from inside. I'm spreading. I know that I'm spreading energy, and I know how much energy I've got inside, and I can spread the other energy all around. But I think you have to just find something what makes you happy. This is all what life is about. Like, we've got dirt bikes, we are riding bikes, and if you've got a problem, put the helmet on, go for a ride, you feel better. But most people, I don't want to use that word, but they are useless.
Yeah, I hear you.
What he's trying to say is,
what I'm trying to say is they do nothing valid in them's life.
Yeah,
they were not able to find something cool that they could get into and grow into that, and just get better at it, and we've got more pleasure from doing it, whatever it is. That can be even whatever,
playing shuffleboard.
Whew.
Doing makeups, like
Shuffleboard will take it out of you, I tell you.
Yeah, but I think what Chris is saying is, like, even though maybe you don't understand what he's saying because you've never experienced it, I'm sure you've seen that in many other people, right?
Of course I did, but I just doesn't like, I'm not wired that way.
Yeah.
Right?
How many times have you looked at one of your friends and been like, you just gotta pack your bag and fucking go?
Yeah, just do this. It's easy to say, right? Yeah.
You just do it, man.
Well, that's life. Just doing it. Even if you don't want to or you don't feel comfortable, just do it.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
So you are getting from your life as much as you are able to take by yourself. Nobody will come over to you and say, hey, Jared, this is like an awesome weekend for you, or this is the sport that you'll enjoy, or this is the free time that you'll have fun. You just have to like figure it out and take it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just take the good moments of your life and enjoy it. The life is too short.
This guy could be writing songs over here.
Yeah, writing poetry.
dude,
You will not be young forever.
I'm just kind of enjoying being a fly on the wall, just listening to you right now, because I'm like,
It's great.
Yeah.
it's I like, even just right now, like I find your attitude incredible, because like I find with myself, I'm like a bit of a naturally pessimistic person. I'll look at the negative before like I convince myself of the positive. It's not like that I want to be that way. I just kind of naturally am.
Right.
But there's something to be said for like, kind of like what you're saying, like not, or I guess like training your brain a little bit and giving yourself time to actually like be that positive person. But like it's amazing to me that you're the way you are, and the situation that you've been through, and that you still persist with your mindset. Because like I've met a couple people in a similar situation to you, and their mindset just totally flips. And they, like, maybe prior to their accident, they were super positive, and after that they've just never seen a life beyond it. And with you, you're like persistent.
Never stopped.
Yeah.
I think here we have to divide it, because I had an accident. I end up on a wheelchair. I know it's just temporary thing. And the other thing that you are saying, that people are pessimistic. I'm pretty sure that with your brain you can do whatever you have to do. You have to just do some changes. I don't know what, but for sure there's many books that will tell you like how to rewire your brain and your perspectives and how you look for some things. For sure it takes time. This same with meditation. Doesn't come right away.
Yeah.
But if you like dig into it.
Well, it could be something small too, right? Like you've kind of inspired this, like, since your accident, and I see how positive you are. I kind of just said to myself, you know what? I'm just not going to complain anymore. Just not going to complain. And then I honestly have been in a better headspace, and I've been more positive. And
have you found yourself like getting into a negative space and catching yourself?
Totally. I'm just like, you know what? No, not going to complain.
How often are you having to catch yourself?
Actually,
right
it's less and less.
Yeah.
It's like it's the thing, right? You just start with small, and it just compounds, and it's all of a sudden you're thinking less negative thoughts, and all of a sudden you're more and more positive every day.
You just won 10 points. This is what it is about. Like, I don't really complain.
Yeah, I've never heard you complain, really.
I just take whatever it is. It's somebody said one time, it's hard and difficult, it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful life.
That's what makes it beautiful, right? It's hard. It's not easy.
So if you're like coming in your life or into some obstacles, just go through it and just builds you up. Like, I did it. Like, I know that now I'm bulletproof. I lost the walking possibilities, and my head is good. I'm bulletproof. Nothing will destroy me. My best friend died on a motorcycle accident. I'm bulletproof. Like, I can go over it. There's like whatever is like coming ahead, just come closer. I'm here. I'm not scared. I'll deal with it. I'll go through it. No problem. 100%.
That's definitely, like, if that's not mental toughness to be able to like convince yourself you're bulletproof after an accident, that kind of like puts reality check right in front of you. Like,
so
you aren't bulletproof, like
sobering,
you aren't bulletproof, but your mind is bulletproof is kind of what you're getting at there.
It is about the mind, but mind is everything.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said too about what he was saying about being flexible, and kind of back to what Jared was saying, like when you kind of catch yourself in those moments where you're like getting stuck in a rut and you're getting frustrated because things aren't going your way. Well, that's kind of a lack of flexibility. Like, if you aren't okay with things not being all peachy or going the way you want, then you're just gonna get in that downward spiral of a shitty mindset. But if you're flexible, you just kind of bend around it and work forward. And like we were saying or you guys were saying, like life is a struggle. It's just whatever one you're willing to, or whatever struggle you're willing to endure.
Yeah,
I guess.
But you cannot give up. Even sometimes it's difficult, and maybe it's difficult and you cannot go through it, but it's doable. So you have to keep pushing, keep fighting, and you finally will make it. But also you have to find if it's not the wall that you cannot go through, and you just have to go around the wall. So you kind of have to find the balance. Is it like worth to fight it, to do it, to achieve it? Or this is that obstacle, or it's just like, don't give up. Just, I don't know how to explain it, but those are two kinds of obstacles that with one you have to work through it, and with the other one, just go around.
Make sure it's recording.
Yeah.
And we're back. A little commercial break.
Pee break, drink break,
Something like that.
I don't really like that.
Yeah, Keelan,
My
you moved back a little bit
microphone's
there. You moved forward.
your
pull
face,
your
man.
mic stand back.
He's in the
you
you're in
moved
the
forward
shot.
during the break. Now you're good. Yeah.
You're in the shot there.
Wait, the mic's in the shot?
Oh yeah.
No, it was bad.
It was straight.
Straight on his head.
How's that? Is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay, so welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
Why
Welcome-
doesn't
welcome
Jasiek
back.
just host
Yeah.
this thing?
The Polish Nightmare, the new host.
Welcome back.
How'd you get the name Polish Nightmare? I want to.
I think he gave it to himself.
Self-diagnosed nickname.
Dude, I'm telling you, he showed up to a Super Saturday wearing a flag. I swear, on a YZ 250.
I don't remember that, honestly.
250F, 715.
Yeah.
Oh,
weren't you wearing
I
an Arrow
remember-
helmet too?
Yeah.
You had the football gear underneath too.
No, but I wear the Arrow helmet till today.
Yeah.
The same one?
No,
Oh.
next few other ones, but still Arrow.
Good helmet.
For off-road, yes.
You came 2012 and raced junior class.
Yeah, the first
Ah,
race.
no,
First race I did a junior.
When do I feel like I felt like I raced you when you had 715 on? Did you?
I
run
thought you had
that?
intermediate plates on. Maybe Super Saturday?
Yeah, I did first few races. I didn't know what I'm going into, right? Like this is like Canada. Whoa, am I gonna get hurt on the first race or something? So I didn't know what I'm going to. I went to the junior class for first race or something because I was not good in jumps. So I was passed by on jumps.
So you didn't do moto back home?
No, I was just off-road.
So this was like your introduction to moto was the Wild
I
Rose.
did a little bit, but I didn't feel comfortable on jumps and stuff. That's why I asked you how to hit that big one.
The next thing you know, you're throwing whips on my bike at Drumheller.
Ah, that is sick shot. Like
It is a good
sometimes,
shot, yeah.
sometimes I've got that in my favorite ones,
That's a good shot.
and
Chris was there that
Was
day
that
too.
that trip where we
Yeah,
went
we went to
road biking
Drumheller.
after? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
was
went-
a sweet
yeah,
trip.
good
Yeah.
trip.
Sometimes those close trips are just as fun.
Even though the track was not that good that day.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
everything
It was,
was
fun.
perfect.
It was fun though. It was
ju-
really fun.
just like Polish tracks, just beat dry and
yeah, pretty
It's good.
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun track most days though.
yeah. I don't know. I just sometimes it's just nice to go somewhere
yeah.
else. Anyways, Keelan, you had a question you said?
No, I had a question.
Okay.
Well, no, yeah, we were kind of talking before the break there that like we find your attitude just so infectious and it's always so fun being around you. And like I'm a big believer in being a product of your environment. And I was just wondering, like, have you always been this way? Like, have you always been just super positive, super outgoing, and just your willingness to do whatever?
So for sure, you're a product of the environment. I know how my parents treated me from the very beginning. They were whatever I was doing. They always saying that I'm the best, that I got a great job, and it was awesome. And they built the confidence in myself. When I was 3 or 5 years old, I went with my parents for a walk to downtown. I think we were in Italy. And they did that experiment that they just kind of hide and they just let me go. So I was going from the store to the store. I checked out what is inside. When I got tired, I sat on a carp on the side of the walking street, and then I kept going and looked whatever I was interested in. And after 2 hours, they got bored.
Man, they would never be able to do this experiment
No.
these days. You have your kids taken away from you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure they were in a like visible range or something.
Oh yeah, but just like,
But
just the idea of it.
I was just living my life, and I was just
living
going,
that beautiful life.
yeah, wherever I wanted to go.
Nice.
So
That was at 3 or 4.
yeah, I
You
was
said three-
little,
Yeah, you're little.
3 or 5.
3
not
or 4.
4.
Oh.
Not 4.
Just pulling numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So would you say, like, would you attribute that from your parents or to your parents?
you know, to be as free spirit as I am, I don't know. For sure, they are a huge part of that. And whatever I was doing, and it wasn't dumb. They support me, right? Even if coming to Canada, the first thing my dad says, what are you gonna do if we will say no? Then I look back at him and say, what are you gonna do if I will go, if I will still go? And then mom says, like, it doesn't make sense. And we start chatting and explain what I want to do and why I want to drop the school, take a break. And it seemed to be reasonable for them. And yeah, we came up with the plan. And honestly, 3 weeks later, I was in Canada.
Well, I mean,
So-
like, gotta commend you on actually going back and finishing the school, because not many people
Yeah.
would stop school to go do something they've always dreamed of doing, this and that. Like, life catches up with you way too quick. Like you said, you're always on to the next thing. So I'm actually surprised. I guess I shouldn't say surprised, but like that's good to go back and actually finish that off.
You know, I've seen my paycheck from working at the store, and then I've seen the paycheck of the guys who are with the brand new trailers doing engineering stuff. And you know, I've seen like those are better bikes, this is better trailer, those are trips to California, this is this and that, and it was like just 6 months to finish it. And,
Yeah.
you know, that would be dumb. And I knew that I was good at school, and everything came pretty easy. I didn't have to put that much effort to go through it or finish it. So why not? Let's go. Let's have some fun over there, and we'll see what's up back home.
Pretty good. Anyways, maybe we should give our listeners who don't know you some context on your injury. So I guess kind of take us through your injury and what happened.
So it was a beautiful day
Of course.
in Kukanusa. I built that 125 back home, ported, polished. Do a whole bunch of mods to it, and the bike was crazy fast. Was doing wheelies on a 5th gear, and the day we got there, I rode it 3-4 times before, but I just made that like classic enduro test, special test, and the bike was awesome, and I wanted to take it to Cook. Before everyone dressed up, I was already in my riding gear, and I wanted to do as much seat time as possible. I fired up the bike. I was on the bike for like 1.5 minutes, and there's like straight rhythm section in Cook. Everyone knows where is that.
The whoop section.
Yeah, and 4th gear wide open to blitz them, and the bike just looped me. Like, I cannot really believe what happened. If the power band hits faster or earlier or stronger than before the mods, but honestly, the crash is like amateur or beginner C class rider. I just fell off my bike on my bum, and that's it. I knew right away how bad it is. I touched my legs, the legs were jelly, and the friends were not far from me, but that was over the small hill, and I yelled 3-4 times help, and I knew they cannot hurt me, and I was waiting for 20 minutes till they find me.
Oh wow.
But the other people, hey, maybe something happened to him. And I say, no, he just got a GoPro. He's taking the pictures. He always does that. So nobody was worrying, because this is how I was like, you know, with my, you guys know, with my GoPro
Oh yeah.
everywhere. And they thought I'm just taking footage, but I was laying on the ground.
Wow. So you knew right away though, like.
Oh, right away. I
Yeah,
knew it's
yeah.
bad. I just didn't know how bad it is. But, you know, that's just an injury. I just got hurt. So from now, let's see what the best we can do for next little bit.
So it wasn't even like one of those crashes where you're crashing and you know it's gonna be
Like
bad
over
when
the
you're like,
bars,
oh
yeah.
shit! It was just you thought you'd probably walk away as the crash was happening, eh?
Man, there was like no time, because there was like no time to ditch the bike. There was no time to tap the rear brake. No time to do nothing. The front wheel just went up, and I was on the ground. Like,
Wow.
it wasn't wheeling through the whoops.
Hmm.
It just went up and looked me over. So there was no time for nothing. I just
Yeah.
waited there, and
So what's going through your mind when you're laying there for 20 minutes? That must have felt like an eternity.
nothing. I was just trying to keep calm and breathe slow and just wait. And there's like 5 minutes. I didn't want to, you know, keep
Yeah.
looking on a watch, because you go crazy. You know, those seconds goes like an hours, and I was just laying there and just waiting. No, it wasn't too bad, to be honest. I was still in shock. I wasn't in pain. I tried to move once, but it didn't go. I knew the legs, I cannot even pull myself. Basically, what I was worrying about, that somebody will run me over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
it's a
know,
big, yeah,
You
big
go
worry.
70, 80 kilometers an hour through those hoops.
Yeah.
And if somebody's laying in a hole, you don't see him
Yeah.
through the whoops, and that was my concern, not to be run over
Mm-hmm.
by somebody.
Who was all there with you?
I went there with MX Junkies, with Carlos and Jennifer. I go there with them since 2014. That's our favorite place for the weekend.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of other people, Dave McGregor, and some other friends. There was like 6 of us. So
So yeah, there's quite a crew out there with you then.
yeah,
And then so
Carlos knew that something is off, and he went with his dog for a walk. And then I've seen him far, and I was just waving. He came over. What happened? I said, I broke my back. Called out. What do you want me to do? Just call the ambulance.
Yeah. So okay, from there they got an ambulance, and you went to Cranbrook.
So the ambulance showed up an hour later. So I was on that ground. It was probably, the ground was like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 degrees. And the ambulance showed up, and there were two ladies when they get out of the car, one of those, her hands start shaking. She had no idea what to do. But luckily there was the other girl. She is Polish, and she got some medical experience, some medical education, and basically she was guiding the whole thing and telling those people what to do. I had huge pain in my lower belly, and I was telling that I'm gonna throw up. So I was doing everything to hold it, not to move my back and do any other movements, not to damage the spinal cord. And an hour later or whatever, I've got no idea how long it took them to put me on that desk, whatever it's called,
Stretcher.
on a stretcher. Like, she was guiding everything, and when they load me up, the guys did it. Like, the girls, like, they had no idea what they were doing and even what to do. Like, they put me in an ambulance and they pointed her and they said, like, you need to go with us.
yeah.
So we are in the ambulance, and I'm saying again, hey guys, I'm gonna throw up. And nothing happens. And Patty, she says, okay, where is this? Where is that? What are we doing if he like actually throws up? Because you cannot move your neck, and probably you'll not spit everything. You can
Choke on it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she was guiding the whole thing. And she asked, like, can he get some painkillers? And he says, on this ambulance level 1, we've got nothing here. So
So this ambulance probably came from like Elko.
from Fernie, I
Fernie.
believe, but they had no idea what to do, and they were like really scared, so they needed guidance what to do at their job. So thanks, Patty, for saving my life, pretty much.
Huh. And then so they took you to Cranbrook Hospital?
Yeah, so another
Yeah.
hour
Yeah, it's
in ambulance
bit of a
without
drive.
painkillers. And I think totally after 4 or 5 hours, I was in Cranbrook. They did the CAT scan on me, and I hear them talking, hey, like the air flight is getting ready, the helicopter is getting ready. So I knew, oh, shoot, it's bad. They cannot do anything in this hospital, and there is a spinal cord injury. There is for sure some pressure on it, and every minute is like life-saving time, right? And somebody comes over. He says, we found you a doctor. You will have surgery here. So that was the time that, hey guys, we need to call my parents. My mom is a medical doctor. So I didn't want to call her when I was on the way to the hospital, because she knows what's going on and what are the consequences of me not being in the hospital immediately. So I wanted to let them know what's going on in the best time they can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So in a time that I'm on a surgery table. So what happened, there was a Dr. Chen who was after a 12-hour shift, and he left the hospital. He drove 2 blocks away, and he got a phone call that I got hurt, and if he can do a surgery, and he did a U-turn, came to the surgery room, and he was proceeding the surgery. I knew, like, you don't want to, I wanted to talk with him to know that dude. And, when you're driving and you're drifting, you lost the control, and there is a tree. If you keep looking on this tree, you're gonna hit it. So I knew I cannot tell him, hey man, just save my legs. So I look at him and I say, hey, Dr. Chen, you're a doctor and you're a surgeon. You do surgeries because you like it. So enjoy it and let it flow. And this is how the surgery started.
What did he say?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, he just looked at me, and I think he fist bumped me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and yeah, Dr. Chen, when he cut me open, my spine was broken. The L1 totally exploded, many pieces all over the back, and the spine was rotated. So what happened? There some blood was collecting over there, When he cut me right open, they were not fighting for my legs, they were just fighting for my life, because they knew that my organs were cut off for 6 hours. And so the first concern was like to save his life. Don't worry about the spinal cord injury, just to save his life. And when he knew what happened, and when he's seen the spinal cord is not cut, the injury is incomplete, it was already a miracle for him. I didn't ask him directly, but from the stuff that he was like talking with me after surgery, he says that when he cut me open, he was like very surprised that it's like how it's now. So after a few conversations, I put those pieces together, and I know that it was really bad, but I never asked him like what's the future plan. I asked him 3 questions. The first question was, because I've got some metal rods in my back, I asked him if the metal rods will hold the barbell squat. No, sorry. The first question was if those metal rods will give me some will like take away my movements from my back, and he says minimal, you will not feel it. Second question was if the rods will hold this barbell squat, and the third one was when I will be able to do a pull-ups. So those are the only 3 questions that I asked. I never asked him if I'll be walking again, because like he doesn't know. The spinal cord is incomplete. So a human's body can do impossible things. You just have to stay focused, and it's up to me if I will walk again, and I will definitely walk again. That's 100% for sure. And everything is in your head. With the injury, with your life, it's in your head. So just unlock it.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So, can you do the barbell squat?
Not yet. No, I still got that brace on my back. But I was Colton Haker. He texted me to try Wim Hof breathing methods. One of the Nitro Circus guys, I forgot his name, but he got hurt. He broke his neck, and he didn't have any sensations on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he started doing that Wim Hof breathing techniques. And after that, it was 2 months or something that he didn't have any sensations. And after 2 or 3 sessions, he got his sensation back on a clutch finger and front brake finger.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a joke, but people say this is what happened. And then I start digging into meditation, and Jake Nagler, he sent me a book of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and what he says, he broke his back in a chest length, T vertebras, and he didn't have surgery. He was just doing meditations 3 hours a day, visualizing the spine and spinal cord. And he healed up himself. So I read the book. I was doing more research online about the people who actually healed themselves with meditation, and this is everything in your head. I truly believe it. There is few people who kind of are really popular online on a YouTube or Instagram, on other social media, and everyone says something different, the different technique, different methods, but I was also doing the better research, like what happens with your body from the medical physical point of view. So how your brain is acting, how is your body pressure, which parts of your body are more engaged. And every guy with the different techniques and every methods going to the same conclusion. So basically you've got 7 energetic centers in your body. Those are your man and feminine parts of your body. This is your stomach, this is your lungs, your throat, and your head. And basically the spinal cord works as an electric system. There is NA, as what stands NA for?
No.
sodium and potassium in your body, and there is a chemical reaction.
Potassium or no?
Pot-
No, potassium's K.
Okay,
Yeah.
potassium and, and sodium.
Sodium's Na.
Sodium. All those foreigners. Sorry, guys.
Foreigners.
And there is a chemical reaction in your spinal cord, and basically from all those people it makes sense. Everything goes to your brain, and you change your waves from alpha, beta, gamma, theta, whatever level of medication you'll reach, and then your body can do miracles. And I truly believe it. And through the meditation and through my head, I will heal my back, and my legs will kickstart the 250 4-stroke again, and I'll be whipping.
Nice. So, do you feel like you've made some progress since the accident?
So, I with my parents, because I was in a hospital for 3 weeks by myself. There is a COVID, so nobody could really come over. 2 friends just came over, and that was Conrad and Patty, the girl that basically saved my life. And the progress was visible every day. So the first time the doctors came over, I told him what's going on, if there is like some sensation coming back, or I can activate some muscles. He was like shaking his head, he says like signal is going through, like to himself, but I could hear like signal is going through. He couldn't really believe it. On the 3rd day when I told him what I did, he asked the nurse to confirm if I'm like right, because he could not believe it. And after a week, he says like in his career, he never saw or heard about anybody who is doing such a rapid progress or is getting so much progress. And this is very talented doctor who've got many medical awards, and he went to Cranbrook for his retirement. And I was lucky. He was spinal cord and sports medicine specialist. So I was so lucky to met him on my way. And I work with my body every day. With my dad, we are doing physio 3 times a day. And I personally see the progress every day. And it's hard to see progress when you look on your bodies. And I can do some movements with my left leg, and my right leg is, people say it's alive, because whenever you touch the muscles, they are there. It's not jelly how it was before, because like I don't know if I can say that, but when I was like a month and a bit after the accident, I was home, and I was having shower, and I was like cleaning my bum in the shower, like all the muscles were so jello that my fingers just stick in my bum, like inside, and it's like, what happened? So I'm checking there, and my anal muscle, it's gone. There is nothing. The whole bum is so spongy.
Yeah.
It was like a jello, and it's been a month since that, and my muscles are working. They're nice and tight now. And my left leg, it was nothing. It was just there was nothing, man. There was just a bone. There was no muscle. I could not believe it. And the left leg is shaping up. That's the quad is still visible, and the calves are perfect. My bum is shaping up, and it looks like it's just not the skin on the bones, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
But
so when you're visualizing and doing your meditation, what are you visualizing? And what kind of form of meditation are you getting into, or what are you trying to focus on?
I've got a hard time with meditation because my brother, my younger brother Franek, who did that Wim Hof breathing technique, after first time he said that he felt that his spirit is outside his body, but he was able to concentrate just on a breath. And when I'm concentrating on my breath, there is like exhaust pipe, there is a combustion chamber, different carburetor in this party, this trip, this and that. So I really cannot turn off my mind. I cannot concentrate on it. I know it takes time for me as a person being so, active all the time. My brain just cannot turn off. And I'm very slowly getting there. You have to basically concentrate on your breath, and then you will like get to the next level. Just concentrate on your breath, on your breath.
Yeah. And then when you're visualizing, are you visualizing yourself having a sensation in your foot, your leg, your toes, or are you visualizing some sort of movement? And
I was doing that in the beginning, but then when I kind of started reading Dr. Joe Dispenza, he was visualizing his spine, and I know that I've got problem with nerve system, so I was studying how the neurons are built, how it works, and I'm trying kind of to, like on a class when your teacher asks you how the nerve system is built up, and this is how I'm building the way from my, first of all, build the neuron, how it works, what are the processes inside, and then kind of visualize that it goes from my head to my lower body.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's an interesting way of doing it, because like Keelan said, most of the time you'd think visualize moving a toe, or you're like, but no.
But he started from like the ground
that's
up.
so much a deeper
Totally.
level and so much more impactful for your brain probably to think that way. It's like when you're riding a bike. Like when you ride a bike, or at least I kind of think about like how the bike's operating as I'm riding it. The throttle's this far open, it slides the carb open, it lets, that's pretty much what you're doing with your body is you're figuring out, okay, this is how my body works. And if you understand how your body works, then you can either, well, I couldn't ride it that great, but you can ride better, or you can maybe rehab better. Am I just talking?
No, I get it.
That makes sense,
Instead of, it's like he's saying, instead of focusing on the goal, he's focusing on the first step.
The process of it.
Yeah, like how it actually happens.
Yeah.
How
Like-
it works from the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be engineer of my body. I have to know everything.
Exactly.
About that.
Yeah.
So I would just build it step by step, but I need to turn off my mind and all those crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And it's getting better, but it takes time. Dispenza said that it took him 6 weeks, and after 6 weeks, something clicked in. So for sure, it's a long process to go to deepest parts of your brain and to change anything about your thinking, about your attitude. Even when we talk about before, like some pessimistic, it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give myself a year for the whole rehab process. If after a year I will not be able to put all those pieces, there is a on the X Games. There is a snow bike para race, or the Paralympics. But for the first year, I want to concentrate on myself, on my body, and I will pull it up. I will just do it.
Yeah. If you're seeing like steady progress even up to that year, but not quite where you want to be, are you still? Will that change your mind?
It's all about his flexibility. He's got to just adapt as it comes.
Whenever I do anything, I work out, I do some projects, I expect from myself a lot. Like even if I'm like in something, I'm in a mid-level, I'm just looking for the best guys and I want to be there. And I expect from myself a lot. And even with that, I've got 2.5 months after injury and I see how far I am. Not just from the starting point where it's like nothing. Actually, there is no sensation below the waist. Maybe 5 inches on the left leg. That's it. Nothing else. And now I can lift my left leg against the gravity. It's super far from where I wanna be. But sometimes if you just break your leg, it takes you 2 months to rehab from the broken bone. And I broke my back, and I'm already so far ahead that it doesn't change anything. It just builds me up. The next day I want to wake up and push and do more. The problem is that sometimes I'm pushing too hard. Like 2 days ago, I was on a rehab physio with Jasiek, who helps me a lot, and I was like so tired because when I'm standing and doing any exercises, I don't go to the limit that my upper body is shaking and I cannot hold my way. I just push that, and I'm going to the point that my hands like basically give up. And sometimes it's too late, and 2 times I fell off on a bed. It was lucky that we were working on a bed that was behind me, but I'm just pushing as hard as I can. And I need more like relaxed time in that rehab process. that actually the body is resting, and I'm pushing that to the limit. But this is how I did for the whole my life with everything. So
Yeah.
it's okay for now.
So you're doing some tons of physical rehab by the sounds of it. Are you doing any other thing? Well, I guess mental rehab too, because you're doing all the meditation and those things. Have you changed like how you're eating or anything like that in your life?
So when my parents picked me up from the hospital, we changed the whole diet. They brought some supplements from home. They get rid of all the drugs. There was like nothing for the bowel movement, for run out, keep running my organs inside my body. We get rid of the gluten, of the lactose, and everything was plain and fresh food. And when I was in a hospital, the way to do a bowel movement was a fleet. So that's a part of the injury that people don't know. It's not about you being on a wheelchair, but it's about your abilities to live the daily life, do the daily routines. You cannot brush your teeth. You cannot pee by yourself. You cannot do anything. So in the beginning, you are related on your parents. I was lucky that my parents were able to come from Poland and, pick me up from the hospital, and we stayed at home here in Canada because I'm not allowed to fly back home. And my mom, as a doctor, she knew what are the consequences of the high altitude right after the surgery, so decided to stay here till my body will heal up better. And I'm so lucky that I can do bowel movement by myself. Like there was like 2 times I had a fleet in the first stages at home, but after that I'm able to do by myself. I don't feel that I need to go to the toilet. I just know I do it in the morning. And that was like a huge step in a rehab process, because the bowel movement, there is so much toxin in your body. And I was in a hospital 2 or 3 days after the surgery, and they're saying there's like bowel movement. And like, what's mean bowel movement? I didn't know even those words, right? We're on a party, you talk about bowel movement, right? So yeah, the nurse just put me on my belly, stuck one finger in my bum, and started asking me, "Do you feel anything?" I said no. So she stuck 2 fingers, and she was digging out. Like that's the only way to do it.
Wow.
They call that fleeting?
No, the fluid is that the water they put inside your body.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think it's called fluid.
Fluid?
That's a fluid, but that thing is called fluid.
Fleet? I don't know.
They put water in your body?
In your bum, that there is.
Flush it out.
Enema.
Yeah.
A fleeting
I don't
enema.
know. It could be something we don't even know about, but yeah.
So that's one part, and I was very lucky because like maybe 2 weeks after me being in a hospital, Ty Turner showed up. So that's the guy who was sharing room with me, and we start chatting. And I said, "Oh, I crashed on a dirt bike," and then he says, "Oh, I crashed on a snowmobile." And then there was like the curtain. He opened the curtain, and he doesn't have legs, like below the knees. So
Yeah.
I asked him, "Hey, what happened?" And he says that he was doing skydiving, and there was the evolution that he was like peeking down to the ground, and few meters above the ground, he's supposed to like go parallel and just go straight. Something went wrong, and 120k, and he hit it hard. Hit the ground hard, and he was in a hospital. He broke his back. He broke both his legs. He hit his head so hard that he was relearning how to talk.
Mhm.
So after so he basically knew what I'm going through, what's in my mind, what's the problems that will be ahead of me, and he he was a huge help on that way, because who you can talk with about the bowel movements, about how to pee in a bar and other stuff, or other problems that I had no idea will come up on the way. So Ty Turner helped me a lot, and we called a few of his buddies, like mainly Roy Tuscany and Mike Shaw. Those are the other skiers who are after the spinal cord injury, and I kind of get into that world of the para athletics and para sportsmen. So huge shout out to Ty Turner for that conversation that he built me up from inside, and showed me how the life will be. And I'm texting him like my progress, and he says like, that's unbelievable, good, and keep doing.
What was his injury from the sledding accident?
So he's in a Paralympic Canadian team, and they had day off of training, and they went on a sleds, pow shredding.
Yeah.
And he, like, there was a bump, and with his body he ended up being his waist over the handlebar and keep the throttle wide open and hit the tree.
Oh.
So he almost cut off his ear, broke his teeth, and he broke his hand.
Jeez.
And he told me that from his previous injury, never to give up, because he was getting some progress after 8 months. So there was like 8 months of nothing, and after 8 months he got some movements, and that took him about 2 years to get movements of his upper leg. But there was no movement, so he lost the right leg because it was broken so bad that they couldn't help it. And then he decided to cut off the left leg because it was dead. There was no sensation, no movement, no nothing, and that was his decision to be able to walk on the prosthetics.
Yeah. How crazy is that you end up in a bed next to that guy?
I don't know, but that was huge part of that journey. A lifesaver for sure. For sure.
Ty Turner. And so he's a Paralympic athlete, or he's working towards that.
He's working towards that. He's in a Canadian national team, but he's still athlete. He's still skydiving.
But what's he doing what's he trying to do with being a para athlete?
He wants to make to the border cross Olympics.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Border cross.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so.
Damn.
Yeah, what are the chances of just that doctor you got, just the doctor doing a U-turn, and he happens to be a sports doctor, and he happens to be able to, instead of getting, how different would things have turned out if you would have had to get airlifted all the way to Calgary?
This is with your mindset. I had one bad day from the whole journey of 2.5 months. I was just missing my parents one day really bad. But basically, what are the chances when you are positive, when you are optimistic, when you are spreading the good energy? You are catching the good energy. You are not getting any negativity. Always the good things are coming on your way. Just stay positive, and it will happen. You have to. This is physics. If you'll be bumped up, and you'll be, I'm gonna hit that tree. Of course you're gonna hit that tree if you're drifting or riding or whatever. But if you see a gap, there is a gap between a tree and a building, I should make it, and you'll make it. Just keep those positive emotions, and you'll go through it. And all the good things will be on your way. Just you don't have to reach for them. That good energy always comes back.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I remember the first day I heard about your accident, and I was gonna call you when I got off from work, and I was like, man, I don't know if you'd want to talk. I don't know how I would be in this situation, but it was such a relief to call you in and hear how positive you were already on the second day.
There were some new nurses that were at school, and they were dealing with me on a daily basis. They were changing every day or every 2 days. And in the beginning, after the first day, there was one nurse that she came back to me, and she says thanks so much that I could work with you today. You are just inspiring me, and I want to work harder and do better. And you just build me up with the positivity. And I said, okay, come tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
But there was also the social worker, Brianna. She's an awesome girl, but she comes up that's I think 2 days after the surgery, sits next to my bed and she says something like, the stuff that we'll be talking about stays between me and you, but in case of trying to commit a suicide, of hurting yourself, I can tell what we were talking about in a court or on a police station. And I just opened my eyes and I like, what, do you know what you just said to me? Like, commit a suicide? I had an accident 2 days ago and you're talking in a case of committing a suicide? And like, you don't say things like that to the people. Like, I went through it and I'm laughing of it. Maybe I wasn't in the beginning, but if somebody is not as strong as me and it's like really struggling with that, and somebody says, "Hey, just don't commit a suicide," okay?
What? Just no shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. But you gotta think, like, where do you think you would be at if, like, I get it. Like, when you have a life-changing accident like that, and I get how easy it would be to fall into that negativity hole. Like, how much, like, where would you be, you think, if you didn't have that positive attitude?
In a Cranbrook, in a hospital. No, man, I cannot imagine that. Like, from the very beginning, I was looking for the best. I was like pumped from what I did today, and I was like exciting what will be tomorrow, what other progress will be. And I didn't really look into sports right away, because like I knew how I should be able to walk, but it took me some time, and I was like looking what the para athletes are doing, what kind of sports I might be able to do if I will not get off that wheelchair. And those are endless possibilities.
Oh yeah.
You can do so much. Just my hands are short, so I have to pick the sport that you need the short hands. But basically the possibility is endless, and I think not much will change. This is just your head. This is in your inside. Like, I don't want to ride a quad, I want to ride a dirt bike, so I need to stand up. But there is so much other things that you can do and enjoy your life in a different ways, that it's unlimited. It's just up to you.
Yeah, you're so right. Because, like, I've had guys come into the shop where, they're missing both their arms. And you ask them, what do they do and stuff for hobbies and what? Oh, rock climbing. How do you go rock climbing with no arms? Well, they find a way. They make it work, right? Like,
There's always a way.
And that's exactly what you're saying. You just have to have the right attitude. There's endless possibilities for you. Just go do it.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was so important to have you on the podcast, to try and get this message out there a little bit, because there's so many people that have far easier circumstances than you that are just down on their life and they're not willing to make the best of it. And I think it's so important that you like to be inspired by it, how your mindset is.
I would love to inspire people. Maybe I will try to do more of that, because now, like, when I talk with you guys and with other people, there's the other guy in a hospital that I was sharing room with, and he said he broke his leg in a really dumb way. Like, you should not break a leg like that. And then he says, like, maybe the God wanted me to meet you. This is why I break my leg. And I just, whoa. This is like a lot that somebody tells you, like, you're inspiring me so much. You've got so much energy and so much for the conversation. And, he had 2 kids and he was working a lot. He was not able to spend any time with them. And then he broke his leg. Everyone is short on money. And I said, hey, man, this is the best time. You'll be with your kids. They are 2 years. They are 4 years old. And, just enjoy your time. This is the best time. You'll be never able to spend so much time with your kids. And we were chatting and this and that, some laughs, and then he says, like, man, like, thanks for the chat. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So just look for good, as you wrote on your essay to people. Just look for good. It's everywhere, but it starts in your head.
Yeah, and sometimes I think it can take a person like you, or like a person like my brother, like I wrote about. It's some people are just different. They're just so inspirational. It's without those people, that's what spreads it. You spread all that positive energy around, and that's what makes the world go, right?
You know what I love about Jasiek too is, like, you don't seem fake. Like it just
Not at all.
it seems
No.
very genuine. Like and you've always been this way. You're not trying to like push your own little personal agenda. Like this is just you.
Well, and Jasiek will tell you as it is too. Like he's not gonna sugarcoat it for you just to put a positive spin on it. He's gonna if he doesn't like it, he'll tell you he doesn't like it. but he's not telling you in the bad way. He's telling you in the good way to like you said. You're always looking at those best guys, so you're like, well, you guys could be, or like anybody, you could be better at this if you're not doing it right. You just gotta do it better.
Yeah, but I've got like when I was like coaching some kids in judo or giving some lessons on dirt bikes or mountain bikes, it was so hard for me with the beginners, because with the beginners you cannot tell him like exactly how it is. You need somebody on a level that really understands what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's all about being real and optimistic, because how much and what do you need from your life? If you are chasing money, you'll have a new house, you'll have a new boat, you'll have a new car. Oh man, like he has an air flight, and then you're meeting a people who are on the higher level. We don't know those people. I don't know those people who've got the private jet, but after private jet you've got the second yacht waiting for you over there, right? And what really you need from your life? Does it really make you happy? No, those are those little things that you have to know how to enjoy. If you are chasing money and spending money, it's your goal. And man, I feel sorry for you. Like you're wasting so much
But if
cheap weekends in Kukanusa, right?
Yeah, totally. But at the same time, if you're, I don't know who this would be, but say that's something that would bring you joy. Like say it truly makes you happy. All those things.
Then I guess
there
it
is
makes you
no
happy.
limit. And you'll be always going for more. And
I guess.
That's
you'll
that's the
never
problem with that.
satisfy
You'll never be
yourself.
content with what you
Yeah.
have. You'll never actually.
Because you'll lose that dopamine hit on that one item.
Oh, I
then
gotta
you'll-
go for this.
Then you'll
Yeah.
buy another item, get a huge dopamine hit, then it'll diminish. It's like people that bounce from like partner to partner. It's like they go through the honeymoon stage, and then it fades. Actually, I saw something on like Dr. Phil once where this lady went through like 15 marriages because they would go through the honeymoon stage, and then as soon as it was over, she thought she wasn't in love with the guy anymore. So then she went and found another guy, married him.
Just has to be exciting.
Yeah, as soon as they lose that dopamine hit, it's just like on to the next.
Jeez.
That's just sad. Like with the rich people, with the heartbreakers and stuff, you just have to find something or see how to enjoy the small things. And
Yeah.
It's all about the small things, really.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's such a material world we're in now. And I find it's really difficult with like social media and Instagram. And like you see a lot of cool stuff on Instagram, but it kind of like, you almost have like a different, like, not like a parallel universe, but like an alternate reality that you live on Instagram. You go on Instagram and then you just see this whole like sugar-coated world, and you're not learning to truly appreciate the one that you're in.
Totally.
Because we're always looking at this alternate world that everyone else is living in, and we just wish that we're a part of it.
But that's the problem, that people don't really appreciate the daily basis living, and they are going into social media. Like I've got so much stuff I can post on from all those trips I was doing, but I don't need to share that with other people. Like I know my value, and I post something from time to time, but that's a lot. That's not a lot. A little bit from everything I've got. And I just don't need that appreciation from other people. I don't need those likes. I don't need those many followers. And yeah, there is so much fake stuff online that you really have to be careful to look on those pictures. And sometimes this is a fake, this is a rented car, this is like somebody's yacht on a trip, but people are getting complex that this is the life. They are living beautiful life, and that would be so much better on the other side of the phone, that they are still losing the reality, and they are losing traction, and they are just losing life.
That's kind of a sense of insecurity, though, because like if you're truly happy, you don't really need to be posting these things for validation on the internet.
So, and it's almost like a bit of a competition too, you know. It's
Yeah.
like everybody, I feel like that's just a natural thing for people, is just to try to be one step ahead
Mhm.
of the other guy. Like what is it with the, like, you ever hear of these girls that they'll like make this whole like private jet set
Oh,
in
yeah,
like in their
yeah.
garage? There was like a
Oh.
couple
They'll
chicks
rent
that were,
they'll rent
Yeah.
a movie set or something and sit on a private jet. And it's not actually a jet.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Um,
it's like,
come on.
seriously, like that's what our world's coming to, is like you're that competitive against all these other Instagram girls that like you have to do that to get.
Man, that's gonna make you feel so bad, like to have to fake it.
Oh,
Or
it makes
it-
it worse.
Like, how
After-
bad do you feel about yourself?
Well,
Like
they probably-
afterwards, looking at that photo, knowing you faked that.
They probably don't realize it. They probably don't
Oh,
realize
wow.
it's
Yeah,
like
they're
it's
just
all
so
about.
caught up in it.
Yeah, they're so caught up in like, oh yeah, this big thing, this big thing, this big thing, but they're not enjoying all the things.
Think
that-
about how dumb they felt after everybody found out that they did that. Then they were like, "Oh wow, yeah, I actually look like an idiot now."
Or
Yeah.
they might be even too dumb to realize that it
Yeah.
was dumb.
They just
Yeah.
blame
And
it
what they
on
look at,
someone
those
else.
are numbers of likes, right?
Yeah,
It
or
means nothing.
they're like, "Oh yeah, somebody photoshopped that. I was actually in a jet." They photoshopped my living room in the background.
haters are trying to take me down.
Oh man. No, I kind of like just even talking about it. Like, I am so tired of Instagram, and like dude, I like never go on Facebook anymore. But
Yeah.
it was kind of cool. Like when we started this, like even though it's still small, kind of at where it's at, but at least it's just like it's something different. And
Yeah.
like if we are gonna put something out, like people kind of do. It's just kind of where our world is at. That's just how we communicate now, is through these social media platforms. Let's at least put something out that is us, you know, kind
Yeah,
of
I feel-
genuine and
Yeah.
Feels authentic.
yeah.
You know, the social media is also a huge part of the sport, because like if you are a sponsor and you want to give a sponsorship to somebody, will you give to the fastest guy, or you'll give that to somebody who will sell your product online,
Totally.
Mhm.
and it's an average rider, or maybe it's only a weekend warrior, but you've got that community and he can actually do something for you.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we wanted to start this, because it felt like we weren't really getting anywhere with social media posting. You know, oh yeah, I felt sick on the bike today. We wanted to put something out that made us more personable and I guess more authentic, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a way to reach. I feel like connect with people more, like within a community.
Yeah, and that too, like you're saying, talking about business, like there's obviously on the business side of things, like social media is huge in the motorsports community, but I don't know, like the level of just content that there is out there now, it's like competing with dudes like Axel Hodges or the Colton Hackers or the Billy Bolts, like it's just on a
but
net.
let's say that you run a company. So what kind of company you will have to run that the Axel gives you a profit? Because he's doing whips, and there are some girls in there who he does wheelies, he does endo stoppies all the time. And right now in the social media, to be valuable for the person that invests in you, what's the profit? So what kind of audience he has, and
Mhm.
how he can sell your product.
Yeah.
Same with those girls you were saying about. If it's social media, it's really hard because you have to find the valuable. You just need to have got the taste, because it might be too much fake, it might be too much reality, it might be too cheap, it might be like too rich and not affordable for one, and there might be too much valuable content, too much knowledge that's like hard to absorb. And then to choosing the right content that you're gonna post, and getting the right audience to act the way you want them to act, it's like really, really difficult. Like Axel, I don't know how many followers he has. He has like 5 times more followers than Colton, but Colton, he's not building his social media the way Axel does. And what kind of the sponsorship will be valuable for Axel, what he will sell, the Monster Energy, he's the star with Glamis in all those rights, but what kind of product you can sell?
Yeah, like I guess with Axel, like he's given off a lifestyle, but and that's just, I guess, his lifestyle. Like he's always kind of been a wild character, and that's genuine to him. But I guess like kind of how we're talking for ourselves, like it's just in comparison to like, yeah, let's say those girls that are making fake sets just to keep up with the Joneses next door, or keep up with the girl next door that's actually on a private jet. Like I think we're just talking about being genuine in a world that doesn't seem very genuine anymore. But,
you had a Cody Madachuk here that was super valuable content. JC Sites, who is forever in a business, the content was really valuable. I learned a lot about the local motorcycle in the industry a lot, and how all that industry works. So I see those contents were really, really valuable, but basically you have to find the right audience. So people who are listening to 2 hours podcast, those are not some, dummies who are, getting drunk, shooting guns. People have got some...
What do you got against people getting drunk and shooting guns?
What he's trying to say is...
Okay, all those foreigners.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So
well, they're gonna want to listen to
you guys
to
got
you because they're
huge
invested
power.
in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here with those podcasts, you guys got huge power, and you can you can do a lot. Just get on track. You've got those podcasts every 2 weeks or so. Be consistent, and you've got good contest for sure. You'll do a few changes here and there in the future when everything will be going forward. But you've got huge marketing power in here for sure.
Dude, you know what we should do is we should get you to send us like video updates of your progress.
Yeah, totally. Or we could even just get him on Skype once in a while too.
He can be our Polish
correspondent.
Correspondent. Yeah.
Well, that would be sick.
Yeah, we should do that for sure. So where are you headed now? You said you're headed to France?
Yeah, on Tuesday we'll be flying to Paris, and there is a rehab center that I got accepted into, and I'm really excited because I need some changes. We got into some little routine. That's the word. I got into some routine, and I need a change like now. But on the other side, I'm worrying a little bit because I know how great treatment I've got here, and how much and how good work we are doing here with my team.
So we talked about this a little bit on the podcast with Todd, but I think people should know this. So you actually wanted to come to treatment. You wanted to go to treatment either in Vancouver or Calgary, but they wouldn't accept you.
So in Vancouver, I didn't get accepted because I'm not Canadian, and that was the the only reason.
Even though you're willing to pay out of straight cash.
We are talking with them for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks they said I'm not Canadian and they will not accept me. And there is the other rehab center in Calgary. I don't really want to say the name, but I got such a bad impression. I talked with those guys, and they were basically selling a product, not trying to help me. And the main goal was me to buying a wheelchair from them and telling like, we'll get you the best wheelchair, we'll set it up the best way, only we know how to do it. And it was like so much that even if I said no, like I'm not gonna do it right now. And they said, the wheelchair will be part of it's gonna be part of your life. So when I'm going for a rehab, it will be cost lots of money. And from the beginning, they say, "Hey, buddy, we just cannot help you. We'll just, you'll come over here. We'll do this and that."
Yeah, they don't have the same positive outlook on it that you have, right?
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, you want to
the first thing you said is I'm moving the legs. The first thing they've said is this chair is now part of your life permanently. So
you're like, what?
I could see how that kind of makes you not
100%
not get a good vibe of that particular place.
And the second part was how is my how mental state of mind if I need a counselor. And he's like, sure, if he got a problem, send him to me. I will talk with him.
How true is that though? Like really?
Oh my god.
Oh, Lanta, that's
Yeah. So
Paris, eh? Oh,
yeah, I'm with the COVID, I want to do it, and I'm lost at the same time because like this is a new situation. What to do? We'll be do everything to do it and get it better. But let's go to Paris, see what's up there, and if it will be bad, we'll change the plan and we'll go somewhere else.
yeah.
There you go.
You know, it's closer home. So anyway,
Hmm.
good part.
What's it say on your jacket and your shirt there? What's the
That's MX Folga shirt. So
and what's the 3 words down below?
it's a service workout chill, because back home I had a workshop.
Yeah.
And I was wrenching on bikes. Usually it was like 7 p.m. till early morning hours. I had a buddy who was coming over and he was helping me out, and we fired up bikes during at night, whatever time it was, just see if the new piston works, if the new crank works.
Yeah.
And I had my motorcycle workshop,
Yeah.
and on side I was doing some workouts. So I was still training and I was chilling as well. So
So
that's the name of my YouTube channel, that sometimes I post something, but not as much as I should
Yeah.
have.
so is there no Polish word for chill?
Just chill.
It's chill.
It's
It's,
chill.
it's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
it's chill, and I'm a chiller as well.
It actually says the Polish Nightmare on there. Even I didn't notice that.
The Polish Nightmare. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Was that introduction part pretty good? I didn't say anything dumb.
No,
Yeah,
just-
let's get into the real podcast. now.
Exactly. Let's go to the other part. You guys know me. I'm coming here 7 years straight. 7 years straight up, and I always bring something.
I was wondering.
So
Oh, I actually have some of that left upstairs too. I have like half a shot.
okay, they don't see it, they hear it. So
They can see
They
it
can
too.
see it.
okay, I brought some Polish
it out.
vodka
Where's the
that
camera?
I kept it for a year and a half.
A year and a
And
half.
a year and a half, I brought it year and a half ago, and it was waiting for a special occasion. I wanted to bring it for my going away party, but
Yeah.
this time,
Should I go get some glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
They're
So
here.
bring some milk, because this is the one
I don't
that you
think
milk.
we don't have milk in this house, bro.
Okay,
I might
thought
have
you
almond
were-
milk.
it will work.
Do you got
Trust
a
me.
bubbly?
Trust
Any
me.
bubbly?
I thought you
No,
were
try it
Have
with
bubble?
milk.
dairy free these days.
I cannot have shots, man. I would love to, but next time.
Yeah, we'll just have them.
So
What's that? Hazelnut?
hazelnut vodka,
Wow.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Soplika.
soplita. Yeah. Every time I come here, I bring something, and yeah, you don't want to change tradition.
Have you ever heard how he says Roxen? We've been saying it wrong.
Rochen.
Rotten.
Yeah. Rochen.
Rogen.
Rotten.
I
Yeah.
like that better. I like that much
In
better.
2008, I went to GP to Lockett, and he was on a factory Suzuki. I think that was one of the very first races that he won. And day before the race, I followed him on a motocross track. He was looking for lines, and actually that was the time that we came earlier. And I went, hey, let's walk the track. And
Mhm.
we were following the Rochen with his dad and looking for the lines he was picking.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
That was cool. And that was, I think, his first race that he won.
Yeah.
He had the custom-made frames at that time from Suzuki.
No way.
In Europe, you can on a GP you
Yeah.
can have a custom-made.
Man,
Full
I would
recipe.
love to go to Europe and just to experience
Well-
not just the racing, but experience it in general.
I
but-
think what we should
we
do.
still got to come hit that race you were talking about.
Megawatt.
Megawatt. Oh yeah.
That's
That-
part of the Red Bull. Red Bull
hard enduro.
series. Yeah.
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 It's not about the race. It's about the environment, about the race. So
Where is Megawatt at?
that's center of Poland.
Is it?
This is in Poland, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
it's
know that.
hosted by Teddy Błażusiak.
Yeah.
You call him Blazusiak here. Yeah, he made that race, and that's one of the best events ever I went to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the culture like in Poland compared to other European countries? Or would you say like just European countries in general have their own kind of culture, just, or it's like it's just kind of cultural as a whole?
You know,
If that makes
with
sense.
this one, it's hard to me to answer that question. You come to Poland, and you'll tell in different episode how was the trip to Europe.
Yeah.
And,
So,
and here and
well,
there.
do you think Canada has culture, or no?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, every country we've got culture, and the cultures are very different. The biggest difference I've seen, it's you are 13, 14, 15 here, and you are alone with your car, and everywhere you have to drive pretty much by yourself. I think that the time you get driver's license is 16 here.
Yeah.
So you need a car to get to school. You need to get a car to hang out with your friends, to go to the mall, and we don't really need a car. We are just hanging out from the bodies. People don't live in houses like here. They mostly live in a flats or in a downtown, in a condos. So everything is more compressed, and we were spending more time with each other, just goofing around or walking to school or walking back to school. And there was always lots of us, and people didn't have cars. Like I was at the university, and I didn't need a car at all. Like the transit was like here, you cannot live without the car. Like no way. Back home, you don't really need a car.
When would you say, like, is it pretty family oriented back
Big
home?
time.
Like it's just the family's everything.
Big time. And people don't move so often as here. Like basically you buy a house and that's your house for life. And here, like, people change the cities, change the houses all the time.
Yeah. And it's almost like it's encouraged from your families to like flee the nest, like to go out on your own. Whereas I don't know, like, would I be wrong to say like back home that it's just the family is just so strong and unified?
In Italy, there is nothing stronger than family. Family is everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's not much different home. Like family is everything. So, yeah, family, we are very close. Like I'm super close with my parents. I'm lucky because my parents are really cool. All my friends like my parents, and they like to hang out with them as well. But no, the family oriented it's a big time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because you don't really, like, I don't know, just here, like, at least in Western culture, it's just like that's encourages, like, yeah, you get out of high school, you get your secondary education, and then you go and get a job and you build your life. And basically your parents encourage you to get going on that once you're 18 or once you're out of high school. It's like, all right, like, I've helped you up until this point, and we'll see you at Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner.
No, so definitely it's not like that, and for sure you stay longer at home. Maybe it's about the distance, that even if you are moving out, well, you are not moving out when you are 18. Most people move out when they go to the university, but not all of them. Some of them stay in the same city, and they usually will live with the parents.
It's like that's almost like you're almost like looked down upon if that's what you do, right?
I
Here,
wouldn't like to. Yeah, I've heard. I wouldn't like to leave my parents at 18, 19, but most people do, and this is kind of how it rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Damn. Should we get into some nut vodka?
Yeah, you guys should
Nut
have some
vodka.
for sure. I always bring it. You can
You're
have
not having any?
No, I would like to, but not in
You gotta
those.
stay on the program.
Not in those circumstances.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll definitely get into some of this. Good stuff.
when the pod gets bigger, I think we need some new
KKKK.
chairs.
That's good. Yeah, no.
I thought they wanted to get a shot, add some milk and have a shot, but
That's a shot.
Oh man.
okay, so
That's a shot.
podcast is
that's a
just going off the hood.
No,
Put
that's
some
good.
milk in there,
No,
trust me.
I don't need milk.
Do you remember last time I brought the same stuff? And
I
you
have
di-
some upstairs still.
And you didn't want to put the milk, and you put the milk, and you didn't regret it.
No, but I like the taste.
Oh, okay.
It's not like bad. You don't need milk. But if you want milk, give it.
It'll be really tasty with milk.
It's good with milk, but it's the flavor. It tastes like
Ooh, wow.
it has some like
smells
really
good.
really nutty flavor. Hey.
Is this as
hazelnut.
good as the
Very
pizza
aromatic.
you made us?
You'll tell me.
Yashik, tell us about the time we went to your house and we made
Wow.
chicken and it was like raw. It was raw.
That was
And we put it back in the oven for like another 20 minutes. Took it out, still raw. Yashik's like, I don't care, I'm eating it.
that time we went to Drumheller.
Yeah, that was after we came back from Drumheller. Yeah.
Yeah, that I said it's my place, but it wasn't my place.
Yeah, Doug's place.
Yeah, and yeah, I made a dinner.
To Yashik.
To Yashik. Yashik's going away party.
Yeah.
Okay, my party going away
Come
party.
Cheers.
Cheer! Oh, I've got water here.
Yeah, we're at it.
Cheers.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
How is it with milk? Did you try it out?
Yeah. Got the old rimp glass here.
Mm-hmm.
The Rink Industries.
Mine's not really like blend.
I always do it with normal milk. I don't know what's that.
I got
Nut
like
milk.
some sort of weird separation going on here.
You gotta get the frother out.
Just mix it and go for it. You'll like it for sure.
It's good stuff.
Oh, it is good. It's delicious.
It's actually not hazelnut flavored. It's made of hazelnut, so
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
vodka.
David Hazelnut.
2 shots of vodka.
Yeah. Oh, Dominic came over, so I want to you guys. I want to say sorry because your wedding. I came over. I
With
flew
milk.
from. Oh,
No.
a little bit.
Go ahead.
I flew from Poland for your wedding, and I flew like too late. And when I got there, I was like so jet lagged. There was like no idea that I will stay over for a dancing part. And I wanted to dance the Kukanusa dance with you guys and tell that story when everyone was saying about stories, how they met you and stuff. I wanted to tell the Kukanusa dance story, but I just, with no drinking, I passed out. Yeah, but there'll be other parties and we'll dance on the tables and stuff.
So I'm gonna give you those Moto movies back, but I want them back. So that means you have to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. No, man, you know that I will be back.
I know
Like,
you'll be back.
that the circumstances doesn't matter. I will never tell when I'm coming. I will just knock the
Just
doors
show
and
up.
say, "Hey guys, I guess who's back?"
No. Every time it's like, it's not. Is Yashik coming back? It's when's Yashik coming back? He's been gone for a while again.
Oh, Yashik's back.
He's in town. We didn't even know. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll never get a heads up. It'll just be like he'll just call me one day. Hey, what are you doing?
I love how that one time when you left your van at the track. But then
Are we allowed to tell this story?
why not?
Oh, well, I wasn't gonna tell that story, but we could talk about that. I was just gonna say I love how it sat there for like 3 years, and it moved like multiple spots. So
Every year I came over and I thought that I would stay longer and I would like actually stay here, but something didn't click in and I had to fly back. And every time I was like checking if the gas is okay, fired it up and make sure it's working. And the last time, like I was short maybe 2 months. And what happened? Somebody moved in and stayed forever
in your van,
in my van.
somebody
Stayed
moved
in
into your van.
And stayed forever.
And stayed forever.
Yeah.
And you still wanted those cabinets out of there?
I wasn't here, but
Oh, someone said you wanted the cabinets.
no, I've got a whole bunch of money in there and I'm still looking for that van. Just kidding. Yeah, but
Yeah. So you left your van at the track. That was the storage facility while you were gone.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so someone moved into the van.
Because it was, there was a bed inside. There was like all the camping equipment. There was everything, and I left it because I wanted to use it.
Yeah.
And actually, I
When he came back, but he had a renter.
You were still in Poland, weren't you?
yeah, I was still in Poland. Yeah, but honestly, I kept that vehicle because I knew I would be back and I would need it for riding and racing. So, but I was just, I think, month late or month and a half late.
People will have no idea what's going on right now.
So tell them, like,
Drop the news.
Why is it my place to tell him?
So there was
you brought it up.
Well, I didn't know. I was just gonna say I thought it was hilarious how you like just left your van chilling at
Okay.
the track for
I
like
brought
3
it up.
years.
I brought it up, so I'll drop the news. There was a body in there.
The renter became a dead body.
Yes.
That was, from what I've heard, homeless.
Some homeless guy moved in there,
Yeah.
seeking shelter.
Froze in the winter.
Yeah, it's good that I haven't been charged for not having heating in my van.
Yeah, you never know these days.
Yeah, so that's the sad part. I love that van. I got it from Mike Clausen, who works at Blackfoot, and he helped me a lot through all those years I was here. There was like 1 year that I came over here, and he says, "Hey, Jasiek, have you got a bike this time?" And I said, like, "Not yet. Do you want my 150? Whoa, sure." Where is the hook here, right? So I took that bike for one ride, and that was awesome bike, like awesome. That 150, he modified it, and that was the funniest bike I ever rode. Like, never had so much fun on a bike. And like, I rode it once, and that's 150, and I was kind of hard on it. So I washed it, I brought it back, and I said, "Hey Mike, like, I brought that bike back, and I just feel sorry every time I ride it." And he just looked at me and said, like, what happened? And I said, like, nothing. I know how you take care of your things, how you take care of your bikes, how you maintain them.
He's pretty meticulous. And
Yeah,
clean.
and I'm, wide open on it. Or trying to be wide open. And then, okay, let's look it up. So we looked on the bike. He says, like, that everything is fine. And then he says, "I know how you ride. You don't drop the bike and keep it for now." And basically it was that you destroy the bikes when you drop the bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to. Yeah, so huge thanks to Mike Clausen for all those years, for all the support he gave me and all the help, which was on the way from me coming here with, no tools, no nothing. I had 2 luggages, and he was like, "Hey, do you need this and that? Do you have this and that? Like, let's look for some sponsorships." And he helped me with everything. And yeah, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's a good dude. He even helped me back when he had 661 and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, helped me out quite a bit when he worked at Bowcycle too. Like, got me tons of, like, more support than anyone's ever got me.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy.
He
all
loved
around.
the sport,
Yeah.
and he knows how much he can do, and he wants to help people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he used to race, and he was pushing the limits, and he was achieving his dreams. And he knows where younger kids are at, and how much help is needed at every level, and he does the best to help us out.
For
So
sure.
he just understands the industry, and he's running the show, kind of.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy to think like how many cool people we have in our little moto community in Calgary here.
Yeah.
Like it's actually pretty strong. I think it's like a little undermined a little bit, but yeah, we got a pretty strong little dirt bike community here in town.
The only people I know in Canada are from dirt biking. Like, I didn't do anything else, so all I know the dirt bike people, and there's like lots of valuable and cool people for sure. So thanks for being you guys here that I could meet on my journey across the ocean.
We're happy we met you.
Yeah, do you remember how we met?
I'm telling you, man, you're running around the track with a flag on your shoulders.
Okay, this is how you see when you saw me the first time. But how we met?
Oh,
No, you cannot remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was at Cowboys.
Oh yeah, probably.
Your birthday party.
Oh, that was a rough one.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, and I met your mom too that night.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's not go into details.
met my mom at 10:30 at night.
Yeah. There he is. Just take him home.
Yeah. It was the birthday party I didn't attend. I showed up to say hello.
But that was the first cake fight that I've seen, and I was taking part in my life.
You know what? I actually do remember that. I remember that part of the night.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know where the hell the cake came from. Did they just give you a cake there?
I don't know. There was a cake and there was a cake fight. So
I wonder if it was for us.
It was
Somebody
for
else's cake that you guys just dug into.
I remember there was a cake and then a big bottle of Grey Goose, and that was the end of my night.
And then it was all over the couch upstairs.
And in the parking lot outside.
good times.
Oh shit. Yeah.
All right, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Get
We'll
those
wrap it
beautiful
up.
life shirts. BentMethods.com.
That camera died, so you're gonna have to
Oh.
throw her in this view here. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's design is made by Mind Designs. Dominic did a great job, and Sosa get a call today, and I said, "Hey, Sosa, I'm going for a podcast, and I'll be raising money for the rehab process, and we are thinking about making some T-shirts, and I wonder if you can make the sample." And oh, cool. When do you need that sample? And I said, I'm kind of on the way for the podcast now. And he says, Steve says, okay, send me logos and I will call you back what we can do. And yeah, he made it. So thanks, Sosa. Appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, and
Cool.
then the GoFundMe link is still on the site.
So all on the Bent Methods website. Go check it out.
Yeah, if you know it's a beautiful life or you can make somebody's beautiful life, that could be me. And, the link is below. Yeah.
He's making a pitch for his OnlyFans. I can give you a beautiful life.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I really
Thank you for
had
coming.
great
Thanks
time.
for coming,
thanks, buddy.
Jasiek.
Cheers.